Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Tigris and we're going to be installing the GKTECH spacers to my 350Z. The reason why we're doing this is because I've just put on my partner's 370Z wheels and the fitment is shit. So yeah, hopefully we're going to sort that out with spacers today. These are hub CENTRIC with extended nuts, and I'll go into that whilst we install into the car. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with today, and let's get into it. Obviously the fitment at the front is weak as piss, so the rears are pretty decent. Like, I mean, probably do with a 10 or an 8, but the front, yeah, the front is pretty whack. Also, very weirdly enough, I'm hoping someone in the comments can let me know what's going on with this. So this brake clears pretty easily. I've spun the wheel around and it clears all the spokes. It's not just the one spoke that sticks out more. However, you come to this side and it is rubbing pretty bad. It touches every spoke. I'm not too sure why. They're all torqued down. Can't figure out why it's just touching this brake, but yeah, spacers will fix that. So obviously first thing you want to do is jack this bitch up. If you don't have like a heavy impact or impact wrench to get the nuts off, I recommend breaking the nuts while the car's on the floor, because when you try and break them and the car's up, the wheel will spin. So, but if you've got a drill like this, you should be able to get the nuts off without spinning shit. So without further ado, okay, so there's the filth. I know it's yuck, you don't have to rub it in. Yeah, so it's pretty much, spacer goes on there. I'll set the camera up and show you the installation process now. So, here's the spacer. These nuts that are on there actually bolt the spacer via the stock studs. So I'll just show you how that works now. So first thing you want to do is remove the aftermarket nuts that come on the spacers from the spacer you got. The bolts that are on the spacers are a 19, so just to make life easier, you can get a 19mm socket, throw it on there and use your drill to get it off. Turn the speed down a bit just in case we strip a bolt. You do not want that. Get her on there. Off she goes. Alright, once the nuts are off, go ahead and slip the spacer onto your wheel hub. Watch out, watch out. There she goes. Once the spacer's on the wheel hub, go ahead and install those nuts that you took off previously onto the stock bolt, so these ones here. Once they're in there, they actually have specific torque values that GKTECH recommend to torque these down at. I'll chuck them up on the screen now, and then you want to torque them down with a torque wrench to the appropriate torque settings. I've got mine set to 80 foot-pounds. I don't know if you can see that. It's sort of like a middle ground between the range that I'm about to show you on the screen. Anyway, without further ado, go ahead. When you begin torquing these down, the whole wheel assembly will start to spin. I've just jammed like a screwdriver or just anything that can fit within the slots in the rotor at the top there, and then that will prevent it from spinning. So take her out when you're done, and that's all she wrote. There we go. So wheel is back on. Yeah, there is quite a few factors I did not take into account before doing this, which is fine. I'm not driving or anytime soon. So the first one being that the stock 370Z nuts are not open-ended. So when you chuck on an extended stud to a wheel assembly, if you have a closed lug nut, right? I'll just spin it on there just so you can see. Obviously, because the stud is longer, it won't allow the bolt to fully seat into the wheel. So 3, 2, 1, and that's almost all I can get from it. And there's still plenty of room for the wheel to move around, which is no good. So first thing I didn't take into account, open-ended lug nuts. I actually bought new nuts for my car, but they're on my partner's car at the moment. So I bought some locking nuts. I only bought one for each wheel. That's why there's only 4 in there now. But as you can see, open-ended, and it's allowing the wheel stud to poke all the way through to allow the nut to seat in there and push the wheel against the wheel hub. So the second factor I didn't take into account, 370Z wheels are set up for flat lug nuts. These are all tapered. The lug nuts that I bought for this car are tapered because most aftermarket wheels run a 60-degree taper for nuts. So I don't know if you can see it. That is flat, whereas aftermarket wheels are tapered. So the issue to fix that is GKTECH actually make a 370Z tapered nut adapter for these wheels to be able to allow for tapered nuts. I'm gonna order them, and yeah, I'll probably make a video just like a part 2 of this spacer install, just to shed some light on those issues. If anyone else is gonna do the same thing to their 350Z. But as for the spacer install, that's pretty much all you do, man. Jack it up, take the wheel off, fit the spacer on, bolt the spacer to the wheel hub, torque it down, chuck the wheel back on, put your nuts on. However, if you're gonna do this specific install with the 370 wheels and whatever, then you're gonna have to take those 2 factors that I missed out on into account, but I'll make another video sorting that out. The last sort of issue as well, another thing that I did not think of is, as you saw once the spacer was installed, those stock studs stuck out a tiny bit, and that's actually causing this gap here. It's pushing the rim out a little bit. Again, for now it's fine, I'm not driving the car, but when I go ahead and get those adapters, I'm gonna take everything off, and I'm gonna knock the stock studs out so this can sit properly. But other than those few issues, the fitment is pretty flush. It'll probably sit in a little bit more once that gap is gone, but man, a 15mm for the stock 350Z wheel assembly with 370 wheels is like perfect. So I recommend going a 15mm spacer. I didn't know it was gonna be perfect like this, but there you go. Now you guys know. Here's a comparison. Yeah, they sit in quite far. Beauty. Shout out to GKTECH, man, like, cause I'm in Brisbane, the shipping is next day. So if you're on the market for some spacers or nuts or anything from GKTECH, definitely hit them up. So quick, customer service is dope. And yeah, I hope, hopefully they see this and, you know, send some parts my way, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that was it. If you have any questions, comments, queries, or whatever the fuck, comment down below. Yeah, I'll make a part 2 doing that side and sorting all this shit out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thumbs up, comment, dislike, like, and yeah.